All right, welcome to another edition. I think this is episode 44, right? I believe. Yeah, episode 44. Okay, let's see. So, it might be long. Okay, so if you listen to the last podcast, I did go back and put whatever those post-production updates were I was supposed to put, the article about the them getting their ID cards, and someone told me I should put the video. I made a short little video. It's on YouTube though. I was trying to make a YouTube short, but of course that didn't work about about that. But anyway, and so uh the Atlantic Council put the interview video of Sudani on YouTube. And then YouTube makes these transcripts. So, well, AI, right? And then I translated the transcript to English and I put that on the blog. But it's the last blog. So if you want to go read that, you could. And from what I'm told, that it's fairly accurate because I've seen the transcript that YouTube does for me. And let me tell you, I know I'm not the best communicator, but I'm not that bad. Unless over time it gets better. Maybe the AI recognizes you over time. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so the other stuff that I said I was going to put, I did put there. And you can go back to the last podcast or whatever blog post, and it's there. Okay, so since it's already 2 minutes, I'm gonna skip all the other stuff that I always say, Spotify.com, RSS.com, all that stuff. Okay, so this it's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, and I should get this updated for this day. All right, so the title is, that's interesting. Why is that doubled up like that? Well, whatever. But I do have to say this. If you are listening to this on YouTube and you think you're watching a video, but the image is not changing, you're not watching the video. You're listening to the podcast. And so you can't see the images. So look below the box that appears to be a video. And then there's a box, I think it says more description or more or something. But then if you click there, there is a word that says more, and then a box comes open, and the link to the blog is there. Or I finally figured it out. You can very easily find the blog. It's myfxbuddies.com, but you have to use HTTPS as in Sam. And then it comes up like at the front page. And then over to the right. Well, I guess it will be the most updated post that's there. But anyway. All right. So, okay, now. So, the title of this is Iraq relies on Iran for energy, food, and mitigation efforts. And energy and food, they're slightly important, right? So, that is what I try to tell because it's so hard to understand. I mean, I really just I still don't understand, but I do understand that they are intertwined and they have been way back to Bible times, right? Sometimes the West rules over the East, sometimes the East rules over the West, right? Until, modern day, probably in the 50s when we got our hands in there, right? And now we want, if you haven't watched the movie W, it's about George W. And Josh Brolin, I think that's his name. He plays him. But there's a scene in that movie. They're like in the war room and they have this map up and Iran is there in red and everything else is other colors, right? And you have to hear that scene. I know it's a movie, but trust me, they put a lot of real stuff in movies. And I cannot find that clip. No one has put that clip like on YouTube. I would love to. I tell people all the time, hey, you should watch that movie. It's very funny. I don't know if it's a comedy, but I laugh through it. Okay. But it there's two scenes. I think there's another scene with Dick Cheney and something about him that I bet is true. And then that scene about Iran. But anyway, so they are tied together. They rely on each other. And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for someone from Iran to have to come over to Iraq. But anyway, okay, so you could read that. And you know what I'll do? I will put a link to the movie. Oh, look, that's overlapping also. I'll put a link. I'll put the link to the movie because I know you're probably driving or there's a couple of people who listen to me while you're on the treadmill. That is fun. I'm glad that you do that. Okay, so if you go to the blog, I'll have the name of the movie, even though it is just W. But anyway, okay, so this, I'll have to fix this, but it's an easy fix. Iraq to set up office for expatriate affairs. So remember I was saying that he was telling the embassy in Washington to be prepared to be set up like a liaison, right? In to to help the citizens in the country, whatever. So yeah, so then they put this article out. Iraq to set up office for expatriate affairs, probably everywhere. Houston, Texas is what they mention here, but wherever they are, they want to make it as easy and snafu free, I guess, to come home. Okay, so you can find out. I'm really not going to focus on the Turkey trip. It was everything it was supposed to be. He signed 26 memorandums of understanding. Oh, but I guess I could post those here. There we go again, post-production. But I'm sure it's all over in our land. You can even go on the Iraqi government Twitter. Okay, so yeah. But I will say, they gave this man a 21 gun salute. And I thought, well, I guess he is a president. I was going to say, I thought they only gave 21 gun salutes to like dead fallen heroes and stuff, right? But he is a president, so maybe they do that. But he got great treatment. And he did go to Kurdistan as well. And I don't know if he signed any deals there, but they're one Iraq now. So, but, and these are not in order. I don't know why I put this one here. Why did I choose this one? Oh, there's there's some bullet points here. But yeah, so 26 memorandums of understanding. They did a 10-year water deal. But what's interesting is, what's his name? Erdogan, he just got voted out. They just had an election and he didn't do too well in it. So I don't think he's going to be the next president, but we'll see. But anyway, yeah, so, okay. So Turkey is part of oh shoot, I wanted to put a image of that fund, excuse me, of that development path road. But it looks like I did not. But we will. I'll put it and so you guys can see if you haven't looked it up already. But it goes through Turkey. Okay? And okay. Did anyone watch South Park? Anyway, I hated South Park, but I had to watch it with my child so I could explain to him all the things so he wouldn't be traumatized. But anyway, okay, yeah, all right. So moving on to, so this guy right here, he is the government speaker. So while they did a lot of talking, so they had their press conference. What's his name? Erdogan and Sadani did their, standard press conference. And I'm not sure if it all was happening at the same time, but this guy gave a speech and alleviate gave a speech. And this is what I'm going to spend most of the time talking about is alleviate. This, okay, here they're calling it a presentation, but it was a speech and I saw it. I saw it on their, you know how I watch their TV? Yeah. So it was really interesting. All right, but let's see, what did I skip over? Oh, so look, Awadi, and now they were building up for the Turkey trip, saying there were surprises. Oh, we're going to reveal surprises in the agreements of the Turkish whatever, whatever. Clearly, I don't care about it that much, right? But anyway, um, look at this. So Awadi reveals the cost of the development road project for the Turkish side will be paid through the oil fund. So they're not even going to have to put any money up. It's going to come from oil. And, I think they got a good 3 years before they start to fall apart. I know I shouldn't say that. I should think the best, but I don't know. That's why I'm not holding no dinar. I'm exchanging it all right away because, did you hear there was a story of a guy? He found his grandmother's money. She had saved all this money. It was some kind of peso, not Mexican peso, another country that uses the peso. And it was a lot of peso, but guess what? They don't use that money anymore, so it's worth nothing. I mean, it has a collector collector value, but it's not the money they use anymore. And it took them, I think it's like 18 years later or something. So yeah, so don't be saving fiat currency, right? Not the actual currency. But anyway, so yeah, see right here, 26 memorandums of strategic cooperation in various fields. Okay, but yeah, so he stated there are committees that will determine the amount of oil that will be placed in the fund and that the oil will be sold and its prices, which will be the basic ceiling for the projects implemented by Turkey, as they will be financed from the Oil Finance Fund. So yeah, they don't even have to come out the pocket. So isn't that interesting? Okay, so now let's get into this. The Iraqi central governor reveals the plan to reform the banking system and talks about sanctions. I urge you to read this, and I know a bunch of people have. You're not going to come away with a good feeling. If you read this, it seems like they're a ways off. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. But I haven't changed from June. I'm still looking at June. So, okay, so let me tell you, there's lots of details in here, and since we're already at 14 minutes, I'm just going to tell you my favorite sentence. Contracting with major, nope. Iraq's budget from the export of oil via the dollar. Okay, here. So this is my favorite paragraph of this article. He added, Iraq has a very large financial relationship. You see that? Relationship. They know they're using the word partners, relations, relationship. So they know they're stuck with this. Relationship with the United States of America, given that the oil resources that form the basis of the Iraqi state's budget come from the export of oil via the dollar. And this is what is agreed upon globally. So you know what I get from that sentence? They're telling the world Iraq's oil will only be sold in dollar. And that's good for us. That's good for our dollar, right? Pointing out that the first stop for the Iraqi funds is in the Federal Reserve. So they don't even get to touch their money. It comes straight to us. Ooh, what kind of deal was that? Okay, but so that's good whenever they start doing. Actually, I think that's in play right now, right? Okay, so the part that is disturbing, most disturbing, is this. Government banks were very late due to the circumstances that the country went through, and it is necessary to keep pace with the process of major changes, explaining that the detailed study of this project will be presented in the 8th month. And then there will be clarity about the roadmap and the next steps so that appropriate measures can be taken. So what this is talking about is correcting the those banks that have non-sanctioned sanctions on them, right? But also earlier he says, why are we focusing on those banks so much? We should focus on the state banks that are doing everything by the book. So, it's crazy. But don't take that to mean August. Because why doesn't it just say August? Why does it say the 8th month? So it could be the 8th month of that study. And I feel this study's already started. Or what was the other thing for the 8th month? Or why did they just say later this year, right? Later in 2024. So don't read too much into that. I mean, we really don't know, which is a shame why they word things that way. But that's what they do to us, right? So, yeah. And then what else is here? So it says regarding the repercussions of the suspension of the Iraqi economy, this suspension certainly has negative effects, but it will not threaten the Iraqi economy, especially since external transfer operations and the exchange rate continue normally. So see, that's why I'm saying, and I don't like seeing that 8th month there. I really don't. But they have a plan to reform the banks, and really, bank reformation should take a long time, right? So it doesn't mean they can't change the rate, but be prepared for what if it does mean that? What if we are here in August? What if we're still here in November? That's something to consider and to guide your life by that, right? Okay. So yeah, so that's the worst part of this blog. And here is another article. So that was yesterday. That what I just read to you, that was his speech yesterday. Here's an article that came out today. And here's the title. Iraqi oil revenues go to the US Federal Bank. And it says that Channel 8, the news, revealed that Iraqi oil revenues go directly to the US Federal Bank, and then with an official letter from the Iraqi Ministry of Finance, an amount of it is deposited into the account of the Central Bank of Iraq. And see, we got a glimpse of that. And if any of you listen to Andy Sheckman, is that his name? Andy? Well, I know his last name is Sheckman. The silver and gold guy. He loves to talk about, yeah, and Iraq just asked for $1 billion of their money and we said no. But he forgets to tell them we gave them $500 million, right? But so yeah. So they're set. It's no longer a secret, right? There it is in black and white. and they keep saying they're in a relationship with us. We are partners. So that's not changing anytime soon. All right, and then this article came out, and I'll just read you. Changing the relationship and the ruling lobby with the central bank is necessary, but not sufficient for economic reform. So here's another person not too happy with alleviate and saying, hey, we need to get rid of him, but that's not the only thing, right? It's not sufficient. It's necessary, but not sufficient for economic reform. And then he goes on to say what they need to do. So you can read that. And it's not, a lot of times there'll be articles saying he hasn't done anything. He's a crappy CBI governor. Get rid of him. No, this guy, look how long this is. I think it's nine paragraphs. Yeah. So, all right. Advisor, the Washington visit. So these are articles coming out today. Advisor to Sudani, the Washington visit did not discuss the movement of the dollar and the signing of 21 agreements with Turkey tomorrow. Oops, sorry. So this came out Sunday. This is a hater. He's like, he didn't do nothing, right? So this is another person, even though he's an advisor for investment affairs. He seems disappointed. If you read this, right? Did not discuss the movement of the dollar, which I bet you they did. They just can't say it, right? And then he said, okay, yeah, but we are going to sign all this stuff with Turkey. And they did. And see how here the Iraqi-Turkey agreements raise concerns for Iran. Of course they do, because it's Iraq will be splitting things with Turkey, which means there'll be less of the pot, whatever, to split with Iran, right? So I just wanted you to see that. And that's why I believe sometime this week, someone from Iran is going to come to Iraq and get a meeting with either the foreign minister or Sudani, or who's the other one? There's another one. I can't think who it is right now. And they'll get filled in. They'll get, hey, this is the rundown of what we can tell you, right? Okay. And so now this came out today. Sandani said, my visit to Washington produced results in favor of Iraq. And this another little write-up. But then also he went into what they did in Turkey. Oh, and there was another thing. This deal here, they did a deal with Iraq, Turkey, Qatar. That's how they say it on Bloomberg. Qatar and the UAE regarding a road project. And I don't know, that's probably the development road, but I don't want to look any further into it. And I know, they all share water. They're all in those the river parts right there, and they all have to agree not to fill their dams or their reservoirs more than they should, right? And security. Oh, yes, let me tell you about this. Okay, so how much time do we have? Okay, wait. I want to tell you about this. And I can't copy and paste it because I'm just not that technologically, savvy. And it has weird fonts, weird formatting. But anyway, so here, IBBC, the 15th anniversary. This is Iraq, British business, something. I forget what the IBBC stands for, but so they're getting ready to do another one. Oh, here, Iraq, Britain Business Council. So they do these all the time. Don't let Dinarland get you all excited. Oh, they got to change the rate because they're going to have this. No, they've been having them with their program rate. I bet they always hope maybe this will be the one where they have the new rate, right? But look what they're going to talk about. And so you can just Google internet search 15th annual IBBC and it'll come up, right? But so here, delegates will hear the latest report from whoever this guy is, Frank Gunter, on foreign exchange and banking reforms. The impact of the dollar control and how this might resolve. And look, it stops right there. So maybe I'm not understanding the definition of resolve, but it seems there should be some more words after that. But nope. Anyway, and to hear directly from government ministers, including the governor of Iraq Central Bank, His Excellency. Look, Post RV, don't think I hand you my card, it's not going to say HE in front of my name for Her Excellency. But anyway, yeah, so there's all his names. So I don't think he's going anywhere because this is in July. This is happening July, I don't know, whatever. Hopefully we won't even care. July 2nd, 2024 in London town. Okay, so I wanted to cover that because they come out all the time and then, people, oh, maybe they're going to change the rate. No. Okay, so we did go over that. All right. Now, Turkey, and I hate that I have to even know this, and it is Erdogan. Erdogan is on a mission to get rid of the PKK people. They live in Kurdistan, the northern mountainous area that borders Turkey. So every now and then he would bomb, that they would get bombed. But is this the one that says, so they were not deemed a threat. The PKK people were not deemed a threat. But somehow, to get some of these deals done, Turkey got Kurdistan to deem these people a threat. So, Turkey forces expect to launch a large military operation in northern Iraq soon. How crazy is that? But whatever. Yeah, so you could read that. Okay, this doesn't seem good. Resuming Kurdistan oil exports via Turkey will take some time. And I believe that really is the actual part of the pipeline because this was also on Bloomberg. They talked about it on Bloomberg. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're talking about Iraq and Turkey oil thing. So, yeah, but anyway, I don't have the full Bloomberg article, but see this? Theirs right here, that's a hyperlink. And if you click on that, it will go to the Bloomberg article. But why? Why is it going to take time? And what about the money? They've already missed out like $1.5 billion or whatever of profit. But whatever, that's what they agreed to. All right. We could skip this. Oh wait, I think we're almost done. Yeah, we're almost done. Okay. So, parliamentary finance. State measures reduce pressure on the parallel market by 30%. So that's what this is about. This is saying, look at, we did such a good job. We got the parallel rate down 30%. And it is down today. It actually closed 1,468 dinars per dollar. After, through the weekend, it had gotten back up to 1,500. So, yeah. So you could read that if you want. That's there on the blog. Iraq discusses financial and technical support with IMF and World Bank. Is this? No, yeah. This is still in, so this must have been on the 20th. This is still in, whatever state, Washington or New York, whatever. But see, there's the World Bank's, Here's, the the finance minister, Miss Sammy, and I'm guessing these are all, look, she's looking at the camera. That's a big no, you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, these must be the World Bank people, and there they are. So yeah, they met and they discussed the World Bank's support for Iraq, including financial aid, technical support, and capacity building. And let me tell you, that money comes with some serious strings attached. And here to help them support technical support for their Treasury single account program, which I still don't exactly understand what that is. I don't really want to. I want them to RV so I don't have to learn all this stuff, right? But eventually I will have to. I know it's a different way of them holding their money and running their financial system. I do recognize that, but I'm sure there's more intricate details you could learn. Okay, this is a weird article. Al-Sudani did not look at Biden eye to eye, the advisor comments on. But they did. They did look eye to eye. They shook hands and they looked eye to eye. So I don't get it. But I still read the article anyway because of this sentence here. The development path is the shortest and nothing is secret. So, um, uh, let's see. It does talk about they only met for 40 minutes and all this. But then they talk about the development path. Well, I don't know. But anyway, it says if goods go from Mumbai, India, by ship and arrive at Alpha and then are loaded onto a truck that will only stop in Paris, for example, they will arrive within 2 or 3 days, while the other routes will take 5 to 6 days without discussion. Ellipses. It's the shortest route. I don't know. I hate that word. Between east and west is the development road. So they talk about other stuff. Then they go back to, so it's just weird. A weird article. But anyway, so isn't that interesting how much time is going to cut off and how much money will be saved? So yeah. All right. Oh, I need to put that T there. The U.S. Treasury praises the actions of the government and the central bank in the Washington meetings. So here's more. This is Samir al-Nasari, and he is the, let's see, advisor to the private banks or something. But he's been in his position for quite some time. But yeah, the bridge part of the gap between the official price and the price equivalent to the dinar exchange rate against the US dollar. So he talks, he's intelligent, clearly, right? So the level of the vocabulary he uses is a little higher than other. So yeah, but he's talking about not wasting foreign currency, which to me that means smuggling, right? I could be wrong. But and then also wasting of public money, which is what they do, right? In the budget. Okay, let's see. The local government for the purpose of, I don't know why I have this bolded, as well as meeting and covering imports and maintaining the stability of the exchange rate targeted by the central bank. So here. Okay, this is why. He's describing what happened in 2004, how they got the old dinar out of the people's hands, the new dinar and dollars, right, into their hands. And so I think he's talking about how they're going to do it again, right? How this time they're going to get all the dollars out of the people's hands and the old dinars, right? And give them new ones. So, yeah. So I was happy to read that. Oh, and that's the last article. Okay. So this one, like I said, this will be a little bit harder to understand, but it's even with him, I'm noticing a shift. He usually gives a lot of history in his articles and then a little bit of what's happening now. So here he is again giving history, but the history is kind of intertwined with what's happening now, right? And so they started this on October 4th of 2004, and here we are in 2024. And I'm not saying I want to go to October, but 20 years later to get out of that system and into the new one they're going to go forward with. Oh, also, you know what I wanted to show you? Did I take it down? Look, they issued a new Iraqi dinar note, the 25K dinar note. It's dated April. No, it's not. Yes. So it's the 2023 format, I guess, but it has a Leah Locke's signature somewhere. I don't see a signature, but supposedly it's on here. But so I'm like, okay, see, they're still printing these, but I think this is a new feature. I don't recall any of my notes having this one, but here's the little tree in the window, and here's this one. The strip down the middle. Here's some writing here. Maybe this is where his signature is. I don't know. And then there's another, well, this is the front. But I don't remember seeing this little purple thing. Do any of yours have that purple thing? And somewhere there's something here. Here, this is a watermark. And if you put it up in the light or whatever, something will be right here, right? So yeah, that's things are happening. They're not happening at the light speed that we would like them to be happening at, but they are happening. They're really explaining things. There's so much detail out for the public. I don't know if the public is reading. Um, if because we have newspapers here. I don't read the LA Times, right? I I don't. I actually like to look at. There's certain news feeds, I guess, news feeds, and then pick. I do read the Wall Street Journal. I know. I've been reading it because it goes back to I used to read it with my dad. So I do kind of glance over. Uh, so, but so I gather it's the same thing over there. There's news that people don't listen to, and then sometimes people listen to the news and they still don't understand it, right? So, all right. So we'll end here because it's almost 40 minutes. But just know everything's going good. Um, I still didn't see, there was a council of ministers meeting, but I don't think anything spectacular came of it. And I don't think Sadani gave the speech either. I think it was the government speaker again gave the speech. So I don't know. We'll just see what the rest of the week brings. There was no more explosions, so that's good. Not in Iraq or out of Iraq or whatever. But all right. So thanks for listening. I have new subscribers. Hey, new subscribers. Thank you. So wherever you're listening or watching, um, mm, 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 enjoying this content, if there's a join connect, whatever word they use, right? They all try to get creative with their word that just means join. Click here to join, right? Or click here to follow, right? But anyway, so all right, thank you. Take care. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.